So how they plan for EHP upgradation first? How they plan for EHP? For example, I'm having three system landscape. This is my development system. This is quality system. This is production system. Okay. Anyone give me some SIDs? ABC. Can I go with ABC? Okay. DEF and some. I'll go with PRD. Okay, PRD. Don't give EHP as a SID. There are some. Ganesh shared a few things, right? In that maybe EHP is
Yes.
there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
having this landscape. For example, my systems are ECC6, EHP4 or EHP5, which is running. I want to upgrade this to ECC6, EHP8. So first thing what I need to do means, first thing we need to create a POC system. We need to do a system copy. We need to do system copy to generate a POC system. What is POC system? Proof of concept system. By using production's data, I can build a new system. Yes or no? You know
Yes.
this method. By using R3 load method, by using SWPM, we build a new system. That is what a homogeneous system copy you do. So now this system also ECC6, EHP4 only. So how will be my connections? The transport connections will be like this, right? Okay. Now this system, I'll do EHP8 upgradation on this system. Okay, it went well. So actually, this EHP upgradation project goes for 6 months, not a single day task. I'll show you today all the things. Okay, it will take nearly 6 months. Okay, to after POC system, then which system I need to do? This development system, then quality system. But we don't do like that. What we do, instead of that, we create a BA, the business as usual landscape. So we'll create another system same. By using ABC, we build a new system. Okay. By using DEF, we use another system. We build another system. So this is my okay. From here, I'll give TMS configuration like this. So I can go with XYZ. This SID is XYZ. This XYZ something SUV. Okay. So what is this BAU landscape? What is the meaning of BAU landscape? Means business as usual. So during this time, now after POC system, I need to do EHP upgradation to ABC system. Then when I am doing ABC system in my landscape, I need some regular developments to my production. I need to create some new things. So during this EHP upgradation time, these companies won't do major changes. Only few necessary changes only they will perform. So they will perform whatever the changes they are going to do. These two are same systems, right? So they perform these changes here. After that, they'll move to here. From there, they'll move to production. Like that, your production activities are keep on running without no delay. This is what called as BAU landscape, business as usual. After ABC upgrade, then they'll go to this D, this quality system. After this will take nearly 15 to 20 days to do on development. After that, you need to get approvals from your client, everything. Then within 1 week, they'll do this DEV system. Now I want to do this production system upgrade. I have done POC system, then this ABC, DF. By this time, I have done EHP upgradation on 3 systems. So I know that almost everything is same in these systems. Here I got some problems, some conflicts here. So I resolved all the things. It will take me for do all these things 15 days. So I am ready with that resolutions, right? So after that, when I am doing this, I'll get these problems as well as some 1 or 2 new conflicts are there. So I am ready with this. After that, I'll do this. So when comes to production, it is very easy for me to do the EHP upgradation. Why? Already I have done on 3 systems. I have performed on 3 systems. So I am ready with same EC6, EHP4. So I am ready with everything. And remember, Before doing EHP upgradation and quality, what we do, we refresh this system. So you have done POC system, then this ABC system. Before going to upgrade this DEV system, what I do, I'll refresh this DEV system with PRD. Now this system is almost equivalent to PRD. So I'll perform EHP upgradation here. So if I get successful here I came to know what all the add-ons or conflicts are there, whether some other third-party interfaces are conflicting them, everything I came to know. So I ready with all the solutions. Finally, we do on this production system. So for production system also, I need a less downtime. Yes or no? So I cannot go for 1 week or 2 days. So here what we do, we start on Monday. We start on Monday. So Monday to Friday evening 6 p.m. around evening 6 p.m. we finish up to pre-processing phase. And we inform client. So now we need a downtime. So Saturday is there, Sunday is there. These two are non-business hours, non-business days. So after getting the client approval, we ask security guys to lock all the users. Now your business is downtime. So to do all these things, it will take nearly 24 to 27 hours. So by Saturday evening 6 p.m., you will finish the execution phase. After that, you will be having post EHP upgradation activities that will go for some 3 to 4 hours or 30 minutes. So finally, your system is ready on Sunday. After that, they will do the ABAPers, the functional people will come and they'll do SPU changes, SPU changes, and your system is ready by Sunday afternoon. From Monday, you can start your business. This is how we plan EHP upgradation. Now, after building this system, what about this transports? What are the new transports generated in this system and this system? In production system, I'm having all the transport requests, but in this I don't have all the transport requests. So what we do, we manually copy this transport request to this system to this system, from this system to this system. Now I have all the transport requests in this and this. Now my landscape is consistent, yes or no?
Yes.
This is how we perform EHP, whatever EHP upgradation or some migration, conversions, whatever we do, we follow this. In real-time scenario, we do this. Remember, so directly don't go and log in into development system. We perform here, then quality, then we perform. No. So prior to this is almost a 6 months project. So you have to get the permissions, so you have to get the client approvals, you have to get all the things from, see, you have to build 3 new systems in your landscape, and you need infrastructure, everything. For everything you need approvals, meetings, right? So it all takes nearly 6 months to do upgradation of your systems, not a single day task. So how much time it will take? I'll give you one example. Okay, for each and every phase, see, extraction phase 24 minutes, configuration phase 27 minutes, checks 17 minutes, pre-processing how many hours? 37 hours. In this pre-process, each and every phase we are having so many phases. So most time taking phases are shadow import, okay, run sgen 4 hours, this phase, this is 4 hours. After that, for execution phase 14 hours, important interview question, they will check your knowledge. Which phase will take more time in your sum? Which phase, guys? Pre-processing.
Pre-processing.
Remember this, don't say execution phase. So the main motto of using sum is to make our system business downtime less. If it is also taking 3 to 4 days, then why I use a sum tool? Instead of that, I go with spam only. No? So pre-processing phase will take 37 hours and execution phase will take 14 hours. This is not standard. Based on your corrections, based on your changes, based on your modification, based on your versions, the example I am showing you. So everything is taking some less time, but pre-processing, execution phase, post-processing, within 30 minutes they'll finish. So we need to run some sgen, we need to run sick, and we need to release background jobs. A few things are there. Today we are going to discuss that. Okay, can I go with other phase? After extraction phase, what happens? Once recall the extraction phase. What is happening in extraction phase? Anyone? So quickly tell me
Yeah.
what is happening from the starting. Can anyone tell? Okay, I'll tell. Okay, first of all, you have to create a stack XML file. To create stack XML file, your system should be up to date in your maintenance planner. So if you are having solution manager system, means your SLD, not only solution manager. If you're having SLD system, you need to push the data from your satellite system by using RZ70 and push the data to your SLD. Log in into SLD and push the data to service marketplace, so that your system will be updated in maintenance planner. That is one thing. If you don't have solution manager or SLD system in your landscape, just go to your satellite system and download your system info.xml file there. From that, go directly log in into maintenance plan service marketplace and remove your system. Your system will be already configured there. Just to remove your system, add new system. It will ask you for that is system info.xml file. Just add that system. Now all your system's information will be up to date in maintenance planner. Then choose your system and say plan for upgrade. Then give the target, and it will ask you for operating system and the database and required files. You can choose manually also, you can choose. Then finally it will create a stack XML file and say push the to download basket. From download basket, download all the softwares, and from service marketplace you have downloaded two things. One is stack XML file, second one is all the required software. Nearly 100 to 200 softwares will come. After that, you have to move that all downloaded softwares to your user SAP or any location, and you need to copy that stack XML file to your system. Then only copy that sum folder, sum.sar file to usr sap sid folder. Then uncare that. There you will get sum folder, and go into that sum folder and launch startup.bat config host agent. Then it will launch some, and it will provide you with some URLs. Take on URL for whatever your system, whether it may be Java system or ABAP system. Then go to your browser and launch some. First it will ask you for SID, ID and password, and user ID and password. First thing it will ask you is stack XML file. Give stack XML file and say next. Then the stack XML file will read, some will read the stack XML file, and it will compare whether all the files which are written in that stack XML file are present in your download directory or not. Okay, if it is any file is missing, it will stop you. So after doing that, it will extract all the .sar files which are in your downloaded file. You need not to uncare manually. Remember, some tool will do that. Okay, and it will uncare and it will move all the files to EPS in directory. That is the reason, as a prerequisite, we need to have space in your USR directory, and where this all the files are going into database. So you should have space at database level, and you should have space at your application level also. Application level means USR recipe directory. After that, it will validate your source system and target system, and it will ask you for DDIC password, and DDIC password from 000 client, user ID and password. And it will ask you for system user ID from database and password. Then it will check for spam version. So what this stack XML file will give actually? See, this is stack XML file. So it will give you all the required softwares. It don't have any software, remember that, only names will be there. So, and yesterday we discussed this StarkX. If your upgrade is having some NetWeaver is updating, or your EHPs are updating, it won't to provide that software names in maintenance planner stack XML file. We have to download separately. In extraction phase, it will ask you to download EHP8 upgrade dumps, NetWeaver 5 upgrade dumps separately. There you need to download. Along with these 200 SAR files, you need to download that also. It will ask you, I'll show you. So it will uncare, then it will check for spam version. If it is not sufficient spam version, required spam version is not there, it will ask you to update spam version. Then it will check. To do this upgradation, we need to have some pre-uploaded nodes will be there, pre-implemented nodes should be there. So it will check all the nodes, whether all the nodes are applied or not. If it is yes, it will continue, otherwise it will stop, and it will ask you to apply all the nodes, it will give you the list of the nodes. See, after that it will validate the source and target for upgradation from this source to this target. Whether I can do upgrade or not, it will validate. If it is yes, it will continue to configuration phase. This is what happened, right, in extraction phase. So one more time I'll show you what are the things is happening. First, give stack XML file, then DDIS user and password, system user ID and password. It will identify the database and SAP version. It will read the stack XML file, and it will scan all the download directory. It will check whether all the files which are written in the stack XML file are present there or not. Then extract the files to EPS in directory. It will check the spam version. If the spam version is already to the latest version, it will continue. Otherwise, it will ask you to update the spam. Then SID IDM credentials. Then it will check pre-upgrade S-Note list implementation, and it will check source and target system is valid for update or not. For example, if you are updating from ECC5 to ECC6 EHP8, so it won't do that. First of all, it will ask you to update to ECC6, then only from ECC6 EC6 EHP8 you can do. There are some dependencies are there. Just I'm giving you the example. Then SAP system release, check system profiles. After that, it will start with configuration phase. Very important phase, configuration. Can I continue with this phase? Any doubts up to here? So
Yeah, yes, you
see,
can.
it is asking for upgrade dumps. So if it is SPS upgrade, it won't ask you for this upgrade dumps. SPS upgrade means it is not updating your NetWeaver component, it is not updating your EHPs. So only we are updating support packages within that only. So it won't ask you for upgrade dumps. If this upgrade is having some ECC4 to ECC8, EHP8, so EHP8 upgrade dumps, it will ask you. They'll question you in interviews. If you perform some EHP8 upgradation means uh, is it enough to have only the files which is mentioned in stack XML file? No. Along with that, it will provide you the media number. If you double click on that, it will take you to service marketplace screen. From there, you can directly download. Or else, if you are having DVDs with you, you can provide that DVDs. See, I'm downloaded all the upgrade dumps and provided all the things. This SPDD and SPAU, it will take some, eat up some time. I'll explain you what is this SPDD, what is this SPAU, how we need to create this. Rakesh, we discussed this. I'll explain you tomorrow.
Yeah, sure, Raj, it will do.
Now, the extraction phase is finished. Next thing is configuration phase. In configuration phase, the first thing is it will ask you for modes. In which mode you want to perform some. There are three modes: single system mode, standard, and advanced. Single system mode means the downtime will be long and no shadow instance will be created. Okay, our shadow instance running exclusively. What is this? I'll explain. Second, standard means standard configuration, moderate resource assignment. More resource assignment means your CPU, RAM, network, all these are moderately it is utilizing. Advanced means downtime is minimized. How the downtime will be minimized? Your higher complexity, high resource assignment. If you are providing extra resources like RAM, CPU, all the things, if you give more hardware power to the system, then obviously it will do the parallel processing. It will finish it in very quickly. So which one you choose according to your system's configuration, you have to choose this. If the client is very big client, he is having good hardware configuration, then go with advanced. So if you choose advanced, what happens? More hardware configuration is required. More hardware configuration is required. When more hardware configuration required means obviously it will take less downtime. It is doing some parallel processing, it is finishing the task easily. And if it is standard means moderate resource assignment. For example, I'll give you one example. If you're having one server, always your server memory is 90% utilized, your CPU is 90% utilized, then simply go with single system. If you're having 50% of memory utilization all the time and 50% of CPU utilization all the time, then use standard. So it take some moderate resources. If your hardware configuration, your only memory and CPU is utilizing only for 20%, then that means you are having sufficient hardware resources. Then go with the advanced. Just an example I'm giving to understand you better. So here observe, if we choose standard or advanced, there is one thing called as, what is that, shadow instance. In standard and advanced, shadow instance is creating. In single system, shadow instance is not creating. So here also shadow instance will be creating. I'll show you what is exactly shadow instance. First I'll tell you, after that I'll explain all these things. Okay, shadow instance, can I remove this?
One second, Jayakant. This is
Oh, sorry.
Done.
yeah, no. My doubt was like, this we have a business as usual, like landscape as well, right? So, do we frequently copy the changes, transports from this BAU to original landscape, or like only after complete upgrades are done throughout the landscape, we will copy the transports?
Only after doing entire thing. So in
Oh,
between, how can
so
you do that? We are doing upgrade on that system, no?
yeah, okay, okay, okay.
Okay, I'll come to that. I'll come to that. That part also I'll cover.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So you're having your system. Okay. You're having your system. This is your application. This is your database instance. Your application instance, application instance means what? Your application server. Okay. What it will do? It will create a shadow instance and shadow repository. Shadow instance and shadow repository. For example, your instance number is 00. For example, 01. It will create same exact copy of another instance 02. This is your repository, your database repository, and it will create another shadow repository. This is what shadow instance it is creating. Means what happened in some. I'll give you an example. You Your TV is there in your home. You are having TV. You want to make it as a TV unit. You do some cupboard work in your home, right? So you ask the carpenter to do that. The carpenter will come to your home, and first thing what he will do, he will remove your TV from the wall. After that, he started working there. He will build entire TV unit. It will take up to 1 week. Finally, after finishing off the TV unit, he will replace your TV and he'll go. In this scenario, when he enter into your home, from that time to he, all this entire 1 week, your TV is down, your system is down. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir. The another scenario is you want to modify, you want to make your TV unit. Carpenter will come to your home and he'll take measurement of your TV and your walls, and he'll go to his workshop. There he will prepare all the cupboard unit, and finally one day he will come. Then he will remove the TV from there. Within 1 hour, he will fix that cupboard there, and he will reinstall your TV, and he will plug in the TV, and you can watch TV. Here the downtime is only 1 hour. In the first scenario, downtime is entire 1 week you are not watching TV. In second scenario, only 1 hour we are not watching the TV. That is the difference between spam and sum. Spam means from the starting to ending, it is a downtime. If you use sum, the entire week you can watch the TV. Only for 1 hour, it is a downtime. Only that extraction phase is there, na? That is what downtime. So which one is better? Entire week not watching TV, or only 1 hour for not watching TV?
1 hour for.
Obviously, that is the difference
1
between
hour.
spam and sum. How they are achieving this means, when compared to SAP, entire that 1 week, entire the EHP upgradation or conversion, your system will be up and running, your business is running. Only that execution phase, this phase, your business is down. So in extraction phase, configuration phase, checks phase, pre-processing phase, your system is up and running and you are doing your business. When it comes to execution phase, it is a downtime. Only this 14 hours is a downtime. All this is a uptime only. This is what somehow they are achieving means by using shadow instance concept. So what they do? So for example, your kernel is some 740 kernel. in your EC6 EHP7 kernel is 740. Okay. Now, if you want to convert to EHP8, it is based on Retriever 7.5. So your kernel should be somewhat near around 750 kernel. So it is updating so some 753 kernel. It won't do upgrade on this instance. It will create a shadow instance, exact similar kind of instance here. It is at application level, so it is doing kernel upgradation. So while doing this kernel upgradation, your system is up. I'm not touching your original system. Your business is running here in database repository. Also, what it will do, it will create a shadow of this repository to some in database. It will create another repository here. What all the changes we are having in this EHP8, that will be updated here first. So during that period on this system, your business is running. Finally, when it comes to execution phase, this shadow repository is merged with this original repository. This shadow instance will merged with this original instance. So only this merging time is a downtime. That is what we are achieving by using sum. Is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And here a few
Yes,
things
sir.
to remember. Wait, few things to remember. If I am having some repository size 20 GB, will my shadow repository size also 20 GB? No. How it is creating the shadow repository means, to run the database, we need some basic configuration, right? Only that configuration tables will be copied here to run a database. After that, from EHP7 to EHP8, some 30 tables are modifying. Okay, only that 30 tables will be copied. And from EHP7 to EHP8, some 20 new tables are adding. So that 20 new tables will be created, that basic configuration tables, that modifiable tables, and that new tables which are creating. By using that, it will create a shadow repository. So by using this instance, it will do all the updates into this shadow repository. During this time, I'm not touching this shadow instance, original instance and original repository. So up to pre-processing phase, the shadow repository will be updated. Shadow instance will be created in pre-processing phase, and all the new changes will happen, import into this database, everything done. Now, when you say execution phase, this instance will be merged with this. So what happens? It will be 753 kernel, and this shadow repository will be merged with this original repository, and this EHP7 will be updated with EHP8 database. That is what happened by using shadow instance or shadow repository. And it is creating shadow instance, it is creating shadow repository. That is the reason, as a prerequisite, you should have space in your USR directory. Why? Where it is creating instance, under USR SAP SID, instance is creating. Under USR SAP SID, this instance also creating. So for entire instance, you require a space there. And in a database also, it is creating a another repository, almost another database it is creating. So at a database level also, you need a space. So that is the reason you need to check, as a prerequisite, you should have enough space at application level, enough space at the database level. Any doubt here?
No.
No.
No. Okay. Now come to this option. Standard means it will create a shadow repository. If you select standard, it will create shadow instance, shadow repository. Everything will be done here. Later it will be merged with this. Okay, fine. If you choose advanced, here also it will create a shadow instance, shadow repository, shadow instance. It will do all the updates here. Finally, it will, in execution phase, these will be merged with this. That is what happened. When it comes to single system means less resource utilization. Here most of the people will say, in single system it won't to create shadow instance, but that is a wrong statement. So if you observe here, no shadow instance or shadow instance running exclusively means, maybe it is not creating shadow instance, maybe shadow instance is running exclusively. What does that mean exactly? So if you observe here, here we are having two things: update, upgrade. Update means I'm updating SPS, support package tags. I'm updating EHP upgradation, EHPs. This is called as update. Upgrade means I am going from ECC 5 to ECC 6, ECC 6 to S4 HANA. These are called as upgrade. So ECC 5 to ECC 6. This is upgrade. And S4 HANA 1606 to 1909. This is upgrade. Update means within the same thing we are doing SPS upgrade, EHP upgrade. So when you say update, it won't create shadow instance. If you choose this single system, why we are calling it as single system means, so if you are doing upgrade, then it will create shadow instance. But if you choose single system, medium less resource availability, right? I don't have sufficient resources. So what it will do, it won't run the shadow instance parallelly. Instead of that, only one instance will run, whether it or this one. So first this will run. During that time, this will run. These two will run. On this, it will do the upgrade. When these two are running, these two are down. These two are down. These two instances are not working. In other scenarios, what is happening? Both the original instance, shadow instance running at the time, original repository and shadow repository running at the same time. But if you choose single system, only at the time of upgrade, only the shadow instance and shadow repository, only one instance is running, single instance is running. That is the reason we are calling it as single system. That is the meaning of that single system. Only, even though it is creating shadow instance, only one instance is running. That is the reason I am calling it as single system. In updates, it won't create a shadow instance if you choose single system. But when you choose standard and advanced, it will create shadow instance. Definitely it will create shadow instance. If you choose single system, in updates it won't create shadow instance. In upgrades it will create a shadow instance, but only at a time only one shadow instance will run. Original instance won't run. Obviously the downtime is more if you choose single system. Yes or no? What is happening here? What is happening here? So everything is updating here. Meanwhile, this is also running. So your business is running. If this is not running means your business is down. While updating this, even though it is creating shadow instance, while updating this, these instances are not running. So if you choose single system, obviously your downtime will go to the entire pre-processing phase and execution phase is a downtime if you choose single system. Yes or no?
Yeah, yes.
Yes. That is what happened with that three settings. So in which mode I need to run some, that is what this configuration phase. Single system, standard, advanced. If it is single system, less resource utilization, shadow system may or may not be created. If it is standard, shadow system will be created. Moderate resource utilization means average resource utilization, CPU, RAM kind of things. Advanced means downtime minimized by using extra high resource assignment, and shadow instance will be created. Yes or no? Any doubts here? After that, the important thing is this one. ABAP processes, uptime, downtime, SQL processes, uptime, downtime, R3 trans processes, R3 trans and TP, uptime and downtime, R3 load. Who is doing, okay, you are keeping all these files into EPS indirectory. Then from application, how it is importing into the database. To import into the database, you know what all the executables will run: TP, R3 trans, R3 load. Yes, in EHP we don't use R3 load actually. In migrations, upgradations only we use that. SQL processes. SQL process means your DDL processes. Create table, create indexes. For that, some SQL statements you need to run. And ABAP processes means when you are doing transport, if your transport is hung, we are checking something related to background jobs. What is that? Whether RDDI and PDP scheduled or not, and a few RDD jobs need to be run. For that background, for that ABAP processes means it is talking about background work processes. So here it is taking dialog and batch. Without dialog, you cannot even log in into the system. That is the reason he included dialog and background. The majorly they are discussing about ABAP processes mean background work processes. SQL processes for DDL processes. R3 trans and TP, and this is R3 load. So here if you observe an uptime, downtime, how you optimize the runtime of some means by selecting these processes. For example, if you use single system configuration here, single system means what? You don't have sufficient hardware resources, then only you go with single system, and you are giving the values here generously. Batch process 10, downtime, uptime, SQL process 20, R3 transist 20, R3 load process 20 means will it accept? You don't have hardware resources. Each and every process means what? Who is giving this process? Your processor, your CPU. And each and every process needs what? Memory. Without memory, can any process starts in the backend? No. So when you are having sufficient RAM and sufficient process, for example, 3, 6, 9, 8, 17 processes at uptime means your CPU has to produce 17 processes. For each and every process you need memory, means for 17 processes you need to give processes, and your RAM has to provide memory to that 17 process, then only you can choose this configuration, otherwise no. So how many ABAP process we need to have, what is the setting you need to configure? So generally the thumb rules are, we are having some standard note also for this. SAP provided some standard note for this. Sorry, not this one, maybe this means, yeah, this one. Oh. Yeah, 161. Yeah, parallelism in the upgrades, EHPs and support package implementations. R R3 trans processes, everything where it is using all these processes. See, this is what they are saying for ABAP processes. Okay, in which phase we read that background process means set up the number of process used for job phases, the influences for job run phases, including long running ones like DB clone phase and activation upgrade and paradist and express. In these phases you need some background work process, background jobs need to be run. During uptime, how many you have to do? During downtime, how many we have to do? Means uptime means up to here, up to pre-processing phase it is uptime. Downtime means execution phase. At downtime you can give all the, for example, if you are having 10 background work process in your primary application server, you can give 10 out of 10. Why? No business is running. But uptime, some standard background jobs are running on your production server, some batch jobs are configured on your production server. To execute that, to perform that background process, you need few background work process available. So if you give all the available background work process to this sum, how can you run your background jobs on your production system? So you should not give all above processes, all background work process at uptime. For example, if you are having some 10 background work process, give some 6 at uptime, at least 4 free. At downtime means business downtime, your users are locked, your background jobs are suspended, everything gone. Only some is using all the resources. Then give generously, not generously, give almost 10. If you give 11, 12 also, most of the times the performance is not improving by the experience. The guys who have done all these things in their real-time experience, they haven't seen much performance. If you, even though they are giving 12, the optimal size is 10 batch processes for downtime. And for uptime, if you are having some 20 background work process, give 10, nothing to worry. But if you are having only 10, don't give 10 out of 10 at uptime. Why? You need to run some background process. For example, you are doing some transport importation. Up to pre-processing you can do transport importation. Up to pre-processing you can run your background jobs without any difficulty. So for that executions, if you are doing some support package, whatever you are doing, you need some background work process need to be available when the business is up. So for that you need to give some less at uptime, more at downtime. The maximum number is 10. Is it clear? So cannot run 10 batch process, system has only one. So if you are having only 11 Then if you are giving 10 means it is throwing you some error. So read this note. I'll share this note. For SQL processes, the second one, SQL processor, your DDL processor, data definition language. Why we are using that means create table, alter table, create index. These are all things we do while your system up. Also we create some new tables, we alter some tables, we do some indexing work. And in your shadow instance phase, it is creating a new repository. There also we are creating new tables, we are creating indexes, right? So for that processes we need some SQL for DDL things, we need some SQL process need to be run. For that also we need to have some setting like 1 in 2 processes. So what he is saying, one parallel import process for CPU. Oh, sorry, not this one. Recommended value is the total number of physical CPUs. Same for your R3 trans processes also. For SQL process also, number of physical CPUs. So the count will be 1 into your CPUs. For example, you are having 4 CPUs, give 4. Downtime 1.5 into CPUs. This R3 trans processes. What is the duty of R3 trans? SQL process, create table, create indexes, alter table, SQL process. ABAP process for running batch processes. R3 trans is for what? For doing importation thing, R3 trans is using. For this, the setting is 1 into processes and 1.5 into CPUs. 1 into CPU is uptime, 1.5 into CPUs downtime. And for R3 load processes, here you can give generously. So 1 into CPU and 3 to 5 times of the CPU at downtime. So that is the reason I'm having 40. If I'm having 8 CPUs, 1 into CPU means 8 CPUs into 5. 8 5s are 40. So they are going with the 40, but the optimal number is into 3. 8 3s are, you can give 24. This is the way you need to select this parallel processes for your batch processes, SQL processes, R3 trans and R3 load. For ABAP processes, 6 the option number, and maximum number is for downtime 10. SQL processes 1 into CPU at uptime, 1.5 into CPU downtime. For R3 trans process uptime 1 into CPU, 1.5 into CPU. For R3 load process 1 into CPU and 3 times to the CPU or 5 times to the CPU. This is how we configure this processes. And meanwhile, while running some also you can change by going into your more. There you can change the parameters for R3 trans process, ABAP process, SQL. If you are having sufficient hardware resources, then you can go with this. Is it clear, guys? They'll ask you in interview, how can you optimize the time of your sum? By selecting this option. Which mode you are running, this will depend. And after that, which parameter, how many parameters for parallel processing you selected. By using these two, you can optimize the time of your downtime, your sum runtime. Any doubts here? And here in the settings, for some 2.0 and database migration, you are having another option called, in advanced, you are having NZDM, near zero downtime management. For DMO, for upgradation, you are having that option also in some 2.0. If you use that, it will take so much high resource assignment. If you're having high resource assignment, you can make your business downtime very less by using that NZDM, near zero downtime management option. Can I proceed?